Hello everyone, my name is Marcus G. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. John Graham is a big part of Chicago Fire, even though you don't see him on the show. The show started on NBC in 2012 and has been going strong for more than 10 years. Because Chicago Fire has been on for so long, it has a major cast as well as many recurring characters and guest stars. With so many players coming and going, it's important for new characters to make an emotional connection with fans right away. Todd Graham, who was added late, needs a minor character like John Graham to help him grow as a person right away in his short time on the show. Todd Graham is played by Brandon Prado and is introduced in season 10 of Chicago Fire. He shows up in 2 episodes. People remember Prado's performance as Todd Graham, even though he is only a guest star. This is partly because Todd is related to John Graham, which helps him find his place on Chicago Fire among all the other stories going on at the same time. It's interesting to see how John Graham changed the show because the character is never shown on the show. John Graham is only talked about by Todd Graham and a few other characters on Chicago Fire. The first time we see Todd Graham and hear about John Graham is in the same episode, Show of Force, which is episode 12 of season 10 of Chicago Fire. Christopher Herman, played by David Eigenberg, meets Todd while he is at the fire school. Herman remembers that he knew Todd's late brother John as the 2 men talk. John died as a fireman in 2015 during the Whitman Fire, and Todd is there thinking about his late brother or sister. Herman later talks about his meeting with Todd with his own boys, which shows that he was moved by Todd's relationship with John. Next time you see Todd Graham, it's in Chicago Fire Season 10, Episode 19, Finish What You Started. He sees Herman again, and this time it's him who has changed. Todd tells them that he is now training to be a fireman in honor of his brother and what Herman told him. This season of Chicago Fire has 2 very important stories that are linked to John, even though we never see him. Todd's interactions with Herman in 2 episodes give the minor character strong ties to the show, even though Prado was only a guest star. Herman is one of the show's most experienced firemen. From season 10 to now, Brandon Prado hasn't played Todd Graham on Chicago Fire. He is not one of the many Chicago Fire figures who died, though, so there is always a chance he could come back. Derek Haas, who runs Chicago Fire, talked to Deadline in 2022 about Todd's plot and how likely it was that the character would come back. He said, "We just thought it would be cool if Herman went back to the academy for some other reason and saw Todd there again." Todd told him that he's now applying to the Fire Academy. The academy takes time, but it would be cool to see him become a fireman. Where you may have seen Chicago Fire star Wendy Seager. Over the course of its 11 seasons, Chicago Fire has had a lot of different characters, including Wendy Seager. The long-running procedural is part of Dick Wolf's One Chicago series. It shows how the firefighters, rescue workers, and paramedics at Chicago Fire Department Firehouse 51 live their personal and professional lives. The show mostly follows the major characters, but recurring characters also have their own stories and often stay for more than 1 season, weaving in and out of the main story. Wendy Seager, a lieutenant with the Office of Fire Investigation, is one of the later people I meet at Chicago Fire. Wendy shows up for the first time in Season 8, Episode 7, Crazy Town, and she stays in a few episodes after that. After that, she leaves in Season 9, but she comes back in Seasons 10 and 11. Wendy and Lieutenant Kelly Severide worked together to investigate the fire, and the way they talked and walked around together almost made them flirty. Fans may know the actress who plays Wendy Seager from other roles, even if her part in the show isn't the most important one. Singer and musician Andy Allo, who was born in Cameroon, plays Wendy Seager on Chicago Fire. In 2009, she put out her first record, One Fresh. It didn't make her a star right away, but it did get the attention of a famous musician, Prince, via Purewell. She then played backup guitar in Prince's band, The New Power Generation, and put out more solo records. On her 2012 album, Superconductor, she asked Prince to work with her on some songs. Around that time, Allo played Allison in 3 episodes of the game. After that, she put out 3 more albums, Hello and Awake and Love in 2015, and One Step Closer the next year. Allo played Serenity, a member of the rival singing group Evermoist, in the 2017 movie Pitch Perfect 3. She uses her singing and shredding skills in a song on the music for Pitch Perfect 3 that really makes you want to pump your fist. There was a more emotional part for her in Chicago Fire than in any other part she had played before. Because of this part, Andy Allo got the part of Nora Anthony on the TV show Upload. In the beginning of her career, Allo was known for her singing and dancing skills in films and TV shows. However, she has quickly shown that she is a serious dramatic character. Wendy Seager doesn't sing on Chicago Fire, which is a shame because Andy Allo is a great singer. Wendy isn't used as much as she could be on the show, but that's normal for a regular character on a show like Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire's main characters are what the show is really about, while guest parts and recurring characters add new and interesting layers. Their lives are rarely looked into as deeply as the show's regulars. Even though Olive doesn't sing as Wendy Seager on Chicago Fire and none of her music is played on the show, she is definitely there. In the few scenes Wendy and Severide are together, they have chemistry right away, even though they don't say anything about it. Getting people's attention in a short amount of time is a skill she learned while playing on some of the biggest stages with Prince and her own band. Allo is very good at being dramatic and on stage, which is something that musicians are known for. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my fast gossip to our channel, and stay with us.